comes into focus musically, and then it comes into focus on John's face when he smiles, and it, I don't know, it makes such a powerful statement to me, anyway.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a brilliant way to end the film.
Sure. And you've talked about how, or we talked a couple of weeks ago, and you said that the first time you saw this film, you said worried was the word you used? You were
Well,
worried?
you read things about something you were involved with, and that people don't always get things right. And whether it be a quote, or whether it's an event, or so. Like, I've read things over the years, and sometimes people didn't get them quite right, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they miss the mark, and sometimes there's an interpretation that was never meant to be there. So you know, I always would view or read things with a little bit of reticence, I guess, about what's around the next corner, what's going to be said, and there are a lot of really kind of powerful moments in the movie for me.
Now that you've seen it a few more times, how do you feel about it?
I think it's a great film. Drew DiNicola and the crew did an amazing job, and were really persistent at trying to get it right. They worked on it, I guess, from the original idea. Daniel McCarthy and William Eggleston's son, Winston, were at a bar in Memphis. Daniel lives in New York and works at Magnolia Pictures as the publicist there. But she and Winston were talking, and I think she said somebody should make a documentary about Big Star, and Winston said, "I think you should." So, you know, our next step was calling John Fry on the phone and kind of broaching the idea with him, but she came with two really good recommendations, one from Winston Eggleston and one from Rob Gordon, who's a kind of a noted writer in Memphis, music writer. So I think John was on board pretty quickly, even to the point where I think John rented a van and picked up Danielle and her brother Patrick at the airport and took them around to some of the Big Star sites and to the studio. And then John became a investor in the film, heart, soul, and financially.
If it could be twice as long, I mean, is there anything you think it misses about the early years of the band, or about what Memphis was like then? What would you
I don't know.
add to that?
I don't know that I would really add anything, because it's all a sense of emotion, and as long as that gets expressed in the film, I think it does its job, and I think they did. I think I don't know, it moves me through emotions the way I was moved when it was all happening.